The news?
The news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Heading over into the drone newsosphere. He's at the drone news desk, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Sills has all the stories for you. What's happening, buddy?
Yeah, well, I got a mixture of stuff for this week. First of all, I'm not going to step over Billy Kyle sharing information about the Mavic Mini, but I will add one small caveat.
It's not the Mavic Mini, right? It's just the Mini.
You know, they've got everybody messed up with these new naming schemes.
It's the Mavic
I know.
Mini 3.
It's the Mini. They dropped the Mavic. I don't know why, but they do have everybody.
Look, I was told that it is to bring more brand recognition to DJI because everybody thought that the brand was Mavic. So that's what their official statement is.
Oh.
Well, a lot of people have been wondering about when they're going to actually be able to get this drone of many names. And so the latest update that I have, and I'm getting this fresh, the DJI Mini 3 Pro is available for purchase on Amazon in the United States, but not just yet in Canada. Amazon is currently only showing options for the drone bundled with the standard RC N1 controller or the new DJI RC. For now, both show release dates of August 1st, but estimated delivery dates are already being delayed for some buyers. So take that for what it's worth in regards to being able to get your hands on one.
I hear a lot of people saying they just want to run over to Best Buy and get one, but they don't have them in stock.
I did notice that they list them on Best Buy's website, but when I looked at the availability to be able to just like drive to the store and pick it up, it said not available to pick up in store.
Billy is smiling like he knows something.
Well, no, I'm almost laughing here because it's so funny how every single product that DJI releases is somehow purchased from Best Buy like a week early. So it's like now the one time that it's like not readily available, it doesn't end up on a Best Buy shelf. I mean, it's like clockwork. It's like, oh, it's a week early. There's another drone picked up that's not out yet.
Right. And I special ordered mine with green paint. Have you seen this? Isn't that awesome?
I have seen that. I actually sent that to Eddie Nunez, and I was like, what is this person doing with their drone?
That's fantastic.
Well, the delays, make kind of some sense in regards to the fact that if you're not familiar with China, right now they are going through massive lockdowns in China, and not just lockdowns in like rural areas. We're talking the major cities, Shenzhen being one of them, where DJI is actually housed. So I can imagine that all of what's going on in China is probably making it extremely difficult for DJI to do what we would consider the most basic things. So that being said, if they show up, great. Once things calm down, I would assume in China that we'll see that the delivery starts speeding up and it'll return back to normal and what we've expected from DJI in the past.
Yeah.
So, to your point, Jeff, I'm looking here on DJI's site and it looks like the RCN1 and no RC versions are shipping August 1st. And then the one with the DJI RC, it says that it's expected to arrive on 7/21. So that's this month on the 21st. And it seems like they're putting more emphasis on that RC version. And I feel like obviously they want to make more money, right? So they're going to push the more expensive one. But, you think about it and there's like no reason that should be shipping early because that's the one product that's like really brand new, that new RC, whereas the RCN1 controller has been made for years and years and years. And if they can ship the one with the RC, that they're making a lot of the drone itself. So it's just like what you said with what's going on over there. It's tough, and I'm sure that with the supply chain shortages, it's not making it any easier. So.
And wasn't there isn't the new controller compatible with the Mavic 3 or something?
So it was I was beta testing from some firmware, and it was. But then they pulled it at the last second, and I still included it in my video because I wasn't told. So, and I was able to with the version that I was using, and then they took that away. So, I mean, the way that I look at it is if you have this brand new RC, and if it's a really premium controller that's only being used for their lowest end drone, they're missing out on a lot of people buying it. So I think that they'll eventually open it up to all their drones, and I think it'll be like the RC Pro.
I always thought that was a real dick move that all their stuff wasn't backwards compatible. Like, you remember those the big goggles you can only use on the Phantom 4, the ones that look like the toilets when you hold them this way. Like, why? Why aren't DJI FPV goggles compatible with some GPS drones?
And I wonder if it has to do with different transmission systems and how they run, because they have so many different ones, O2, O3, O3 plus, like they have so many different things. So I just wonder if there's something that is preventing it. You know?
I think what's preventing it is their profit margin.
Oh yeah. Look, that is definitely in play.
Yeah,
but
because if you can just make other goggles compatible with firmware, then you're being dicks about it. Anyway, back to you in the newsroom, Jeff.
All right. So next in the news, if we have any viewers that are in Wichita, and this weekend is a big thing called Riverfest. If you are familiar with that, Saturday and Sunday on June 4th and 5th, they will be having a 200 drone swarm light show. So if you have not seen a drone light show before and you want to see one, and you're in Wichita, June 4th and 5th, this is your opportunity.
Billy, have you seen a cluster drone show?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've seen videos of them online, and they're really impressive. And, I know that people are trying to argue that they're going to replace fireworks, and I don't think that they'll ever replace fireworks. I just think that it's a cool alternative to be used in certain scenarios because it can do different things. Like, you can make designs and stuff. So I think that it's cool.
It is cool, but nothing will replace, unless you strap dynamite to one drone and sacrifice it, you're not going to get that thud to your chest.
It's kind of like driving a stupid electric car that doesn't make any sound when you hit the gas.
Right? But you have a sound that you can program it.
Right? Yeah, I use my mouth.
Has anybody? Now you're in the Tesla right now, right?
Yeah.
Can you program it to make like the Jetsons sound? Like when you drive, you can make it go.
You probably could, but actually, you used to be able to play a sound outside of the car as you drove, but they took that feature away because the National Highway Transportation Association, whatever, was complaining about that. So you can play a sound, but it only plays on the inside of your car.
Oh, so you can't like record your own thing, like your horn. Can you program your horn to sample something for? You can. So you can have it say douchebag, douchebag.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to. In fact, when I first got the car, I didn't know that it was playing on the outside, so I was doing a bunch of stuff, and I was in a drive-through at Sonic, and I was like hitting the horn, probably annoying.
That's hilarious.
But you know what it does have? It's got a whoopee cushion. So, that was on the here. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
As a whoopee cushion. So if you do this, let me see. Is it doing it in here? Do you hear that?
Can you make that your horn?
Yes, you can. So the horn farts.
Oh my God.
Much respect to Mr. Musk. Yes. All right, Jeff, back to you in the newsroom.
All right. So China has successfully developed the world's first autonomous drone carrier. It's using this to expand its maritime influence through the use of AI. This particular carrier is going to be remote and completely autonomous. It can carry dozens of unmanned vehicles, including drones and submersibles. It can also launch and recover those drones automatically. So the shipbuilder, Huang Pu,
I'm sorry. Hey, hit the horn, Billy. Who is it? What's his name again, Jeff? What's his name again?
The Huang Pu Wenchuan Shipyard. Yep.
Sorry, Wang Pu.
The equipment on the drone carrier can better help maritime observation and scientific research.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything after Wang Pu.
It'll be interesting to see how this works in the fact that the entire thing is automated. So
that's great. What was his name again?
Yeah. I cannot believe this whole story. We're focused on one word: Huang Pu.
His name is Wang.
Wang Pu.
Everybody, Wang Pu tonight. All right.
We're moving on.
We are. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So recently, a senior police official reported that a Pakistani drone carrying 7 magnetic bombs and as many UBGL grenades was recently shot down in the Jammu and Kashmir Kathua region on Saturday. This was crossing the international boundary into India. The incident occurred just days before the annual pilgrimage to the Amarth Cave Shrine in the Himalayas in South Kashmir, which has been brought up on heightened security because of these particular events. This is the second incursion that I have reported on of drones from Pakistan entering India.
Wow.
And that's not a small drone.
No, that's a toddler lifter right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next we have Vivid. Vivid is going to be hosting the largest drone show in the Southern Hemisphere in Sydney. They apparently made history
over the weekend, showcasing the largest drone light show ever seen in the Southern Hemisphere. Pretty cool.
Wow.
600 drones took to the sky over the harbour, dazzling Vivid audiences from Star Trek's USS Enterprise to SpongeBob SquarePants and a Top Gun fighter jet. The synchronised display had a little bit of something for everyone.
That is cool.
Impressive.
I got to see one of those cluster drone shows soon.
It would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next we have something I guess kind of questionable in the news, and I'll let you guys watch the video first, and then we can comment on it. But this is drone footage from the Uvalde Memorial that is being held in the town square for the victims of the Robb Elementary School shooting, and this drone footage raises some questions about how we're supposed to be using drones.
Yeah, I mean they're flying over people. It's this could be intrusion into their. I mean it's a public square, but clearly there's going to be a lot of friends and family there, unless it's somebody from one of the families or friends that has the drone. But they're still flying over people. Billy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that this begs like an even bigger question, kind of moving on from not only just like an event like this, but just events in general and how to capture them using a drone. Something that's actually interesting that I saw is that in one of the smaller football leagues, not the NFL, but they were actually using a drone, an FPV drone, to capture some footage of the players on the field while they were playing. So they were flying a drone over the people while they were playing, which I think is cool. So I think that and another thing is I saw when in Vegas yesterday when Brady and Rodgers were having that golf match against Mahomes and Josh Allen, they had a drone hovering above them also capturing some footage. So there's no doubt that drones need to be integrated into events in some way to cover them, but it's about how to do it properly and respectfully. So now we're going from something that's a small gathering for, remembrance to, say, a much larger sporting event. But I just think that, event coverage with drones needs to be done in the proper way, something that doesn't disrupt what's going on the ground, but it can also be effective. And I think that we need to figure out a way to get there across the board.
And that also needs to clearly identify to the viewing audience that not just anybody's allowed to go and fly their drone like that.
Mm-hmm.
That this is not footage that is allowed, for general hobbyists to use. Yeah. This is something that, is, a licensed pilot under controlled circumstances with proper vetting from the FAA, et cetera. So
even so, and I know what footage you're talking about, Billy. He started out in the above the stands and flew over the entire crowd down into the field. You didn't get the permission of everybody there.
Well, so that was the Bengals game, and yes, that was horrible. But what I'm saying is that the NFL or this football league actually allowed.
That's the one I'm talking about. That's the one I'm talking about.
We've done a story 2 times now on that particular league because of the first implementation that they had with the drone, where they had the FPV drone out on the field, and then they had gone back in and intermixed that drone footage now with helmet cams that they've put on, so that you get the first person view from the player and then the first person view from the drone as it flies.
Not only that, but they had a cable cam too that the drone operator had to avoid because there's cables across the field for that. But there could be something when you buy your ticket that any risk, you assume the risk. Like they could have some small print there at the ticket booth that say, we're going to fly a drone. It's understood if you buy a ticket, we're going to be flying a drone. We don't know. Maybe that's a way to cover themselves. But it sure was spectacular footage, yes.
Or they get one of those guys that does the high-speed talking on advertisements.
That's it, a disclaimer, yeah.
Well, so
all right.
Real quick, to end this topic on discussing like flying over events, there's a music group called the Chainsmokers, and they were recently performing at this event called EDC down in Mexico. Did you see this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did see
So,
that.
I mean, it's going to be bad, but like you can see this drone footage of an FPV pilot flying, directly over this crowd of people. Now, this is not in the United States. This is down in Mexico.
Yeah.
This is posted. It has 475,000 views. And FPV drones don't really have the reliability of, say, a DJI drone if it's made by somebody, So that begs the question too of like, wow, this is really awesome footage, but man, it could have injured a whole lot of people.
Yeah, and we don't know if it was a ducted drone. I would hope that it would be a ducted drone and not just an open freaking hand slicer 5,000 5-inch or something like that. But that was great footage as well.
All right, so next in the news, Lithuania has one-upped the whole idea of crowdfunding. Lithuanians recently performed a crowdfunding exercise to buy a $5.4 million Turkish Bayraktar drone to send to the Ukraine.
Oh, cool.
This is private crowdfunding initiative, and it received the green light from both Lithuania, Turkey, and the Ukraine, and they purchased the drone and ammunition and sent it to Ukraine. I'm pretty impressed. Crowdfunding a giant
that's cool.
drone.
And just for reference, because we have someone from Lithuania on the show tonight. Here's Eastern Europe, folks. If you're wondering where they are in respect to Ukraine, can you find them? Where's Waldo? There's Lithuania up there. Okay.
All right. So next in the news, this is one that I guess I guess it's a wait and see kind of thing. Lawmakers in Wyoming have drafted a bill that, if passed, would allow staff at the state correctional institutions to disable or capture drones, and to legalize shooting down drones.
Nope, that'll never happen. I'll get my tube socks before that happens.
Yeah,
because do you know why? Very simply. Do you know why?
Why?
Very simply, because what if somebody accidentally shoots down a dude in an ultralight aircraft? I thought it was a drone. Sorry, it was over my property. I didn't know it was the dude. That's what's gonna happen, and it'll happen in Kentucky.
and also, it's also difficult to define what would be considered trespass by a drone, according to the state laws. So there's a whole lot of things that are going to go wrong with this bill, and hopefully the legal, eagles are on this to be able to go after this. I can't imagine the FAA is going to be like, oh yeah, sure, go right ahead, just start shooting down drones.
And look, I don't doubt that these guards are a good shot or not, but I mean, think about how much ammunition they're going to be spraying into the air to try to get this thing down, and the threat that poses. I mean, drones are not easy to shoot down.
There are other ways that prisons have shown they have the ability to stop drones. They have the barrier system that prevents the drones from even entering the prison in the first place. They have the sensors that will identify to cell phones, and show video of the drone where it's at to tell the guards where to go and retrieve it. And even systems like we've seen with the guns that disrupt the drones. So I mean,
but isn't that always the knee-jerk reaction of? I can say it because I'm in Tennessee, because of rednecks that are, and they're just, and all I'm gonna shoot it down. You come over my property, I'm gonna shoot it down.
Well, you know what? I do a lot of real estate photography, which requires me, if I'm photographing a home, to fly over the neighbor's house. I mean, there's no way around it. And you'd be surprised how many people are like, you can't do that. And I'm just like, well, yeah, I can.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's one we will definitely be keeping an eye on and hopefully be able to report on in the future.
Look at Billy with his sippy cup.
All right. So while he takes his sippy cup drink, Caltech engineers are developing a drone that could fly through nature's most intense wind-driven storms.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
This thing is designed to handle high winds or hurricane type environments, etc.
We need drones that can really precisely do what you tell it to do. So in this case, we're really precisely trying to follow a path in different wind conditions.
Do you know what the speed of the wind is in this testing?
Yeah, they can't get above, I think it's 26 miles an hour or something. That's the highest that they're doing with that particular machine.
Tell you what, for 26 miles an hour, it's still pretty solid. It's still pretty precise.
Yeah.
And because it can cut through different layers of different speeds, winds, and still maintain that stability, that's what's also very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next in the news, we're going to dip back in history. The USS Orleck Naval Museum is apparently going to get a drone.
I don't know what happened to the audio, but there was some.
Look at that thing.
Hold on a second. Did I mute it? No, I didn't. Anyway, tell us more about it while I show you this video.
All right, so this the Orleck is going to get essentially what is a 1960s drone. This is a drone that was used back in the 1960s to chase submarines. It was an anti-submarine weapon, and it was actually functional. They actually did use these, which is the reason why they want to actually put this on the warship and reunite it, because the Orleck was one of the ships that actually utilized this particular technology. But most people don't think that drones were around back in the 1960s, and obviously here's a perfect example that the drone technology did exist back then and was being used by the military to as a weapon. They're currently crowdfunding to get, I think, about $5,000 that they need to get a special crane to put this particular machine on the deck of the ship. So if anybody wants to contribute to assist in being able to get that drone where it belongs, by all means, check with, the USS Orleck website and see if they have any information about being part of that, reuniting the drone with the warship.
Yeah, I do know that they spent quite a bit of money restoring that one, because I think there's only one other one, and that's the one in the best shape. They used to fly at line of sight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's like 10 in the world, and this and one other one are the only two that are actually assembled.
But hey, we always fly line of sight. We never fly out. So
right. Well, no, right? FPV people, we never violate that. Ever. Your Honor. All right, back to you in the newsroom.
All right, so last in the news, and this one is by far my favorite because we have had all sorts of fun with the Ukrainian videos and strike videos. This particular video captures a Russian soldier who not only knows the drone is there, but flips it off before being struck by it.
And there's a little surprise at the end. Yeah, check this out. So here he is. Yeah. See him right there putting his gun on. He looks up. He's like, hey, here's what I think of that drone. And just a couple minutes later, guess what happens to him? Can you guess what happens to that guy?
I'm guessing he's no more.
Well, watch closely. He was standing right there. Right? Now I'm gonna enhance. And you can see his finger flying off. You see that little bit right there? That's his finger right there. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. And I know our Drone Labs guys are waiting for us to call them. We're going to do that here in just a minute. It is like freaking 4:00 in the morning where they are. So we're going to thank you very much, Jeff.
And I give my fond salute to them and the hard work that they're doing. I can't wait to see more great videos from their group.
We'll see you later, Jeff.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
Well, I suppose we should tell everyone about remotepilot101.com, shouldn't we?
I mean, why shouldn't we? Because I look at it this way.
Yeah.
We got Ken Heron to pass the test. And when you can get Ken Heron to pass the test, I mean, isn't that the greatest? That is the peak of the mountain right there when you get Ken Heron to pass. So.
Yeah, if you can get that information into this melon and have it retained, which, aside from a few METARs and sectional charts. It's all in there.
It's all still in there.
Yeah.
It's all still there. But no, seriously, Ken, thanks so much for all that you do for us at remotepilot101.com, m0a.com. It's real world prep. I know we joke about it and everything else, but it's not just passing the test. It's being that safe real world operator. And that's what we're all about, is especially with all these crazy laws and rules and how it's just such a rapidly changing landscape. We're always staying on top of it, keeping Ken and all of the Heron birds in line out there with their Part 107 regulations.
Right. If you're a newbie and you don't know what the heck we're even talking about, the FAA has a certification that you must get if you plan on using your drone to make money in the United States.
In the furtherance of a business,
yes.
Which goes as far as to say, we all know Ken is a top 10 radio DJ. Ken says, "Hey, Jason, I need you to come fly over the radio station for a Facebook video we're going to do." And we're buddies. So, Jason, I'm not going to pay you to do it. You're just going to do it for me as a friend.
Right.
Well, it's still furthering the business of the radio station. I would need to be what's called a Part 107 certificated remote pilot.
That's right, and people try to get around this all the time, and believe me,
do.
The government has thought of everything. You can't sidestep the FAA. But
yeah, no doubt.
You can get the knowledge that you need to be a safe drone pilot.
Yes.
And if you like being a drone pilot and want to take it a few steps further, well, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to manned aviation, is it not, Jason?
That is so true, my friend. So we also have m0a.com for individuals to kind of really looking to get started from unmanned aviation to becoming a certificated private pilot as well. We've been trying to get Ken up in that airplane as well. But whether that's a hobby, a career, whatever that may be for you, we'll take you all the way from flying a drone to you want to be an airline pilot. We have all the test prep, the real world test prep, been there, done that kind of test prep to make you that safe real world pilot.
RemotePilot101.com. There it is, right there. That face right there. That's from like 20 years ago, and he looks exactly the same.
It's true, but still the two watches. Thanks to you, Ken.
To watch. RemotePilot101.com. Love you, mean it.